So, since I got reminded to do this, here is the semi-finals edition of the GLDL Empoleon Playoffs Analysis. I haven't done do my PDCL team analysis video, but I'll probably just go over the team in my first game, just before that of what I've had. So that video is not going to happen, but instead will happen with our week 1 match for the PDCL. So that will just be a regular, just in Pokemon I have before the game starts. So there won't be a video for that. But anyway, we will have the GLDL Empoleon playoffs analysis for the semi-finals. So the first round of playoffs have been played. So the match results from the SoCal Silver versus the MK Mimikyus has been played, and the result for me versus Hunter has already been played. And of course, so that is the bracket for reference for people who may not know it. So we're also bringing this back up in the season transactions, because since we last made a video, Joey has made a transaction. He's dropped his Rotom and he's gained a Rompy. I don't know how I feel about this one. I feel like Rotom offers more to his team than Ribombee does. So I think he was probably in a perfect situation, probably just to not do any transactions at all. I think the Rotom was just so good on his team. It just provided that grass typing, which would be just so good. But anyway, not going to get too much into this. It's just one transaction. He probably has a reason for it, and I'm just gonna let it go. I prefer the Rotom though, personally. I probably would have done that. So we're going to go to playoffs week 1 results and the semi-finalists. So we have Dina beating the SoCal Sylveons, beating Yasha 2-0 over the Yasha 2-0. That will book her place in the finals, in the semi-finals for the Empoleon division. And in the other final, Hunter beat me. If you watched the video, you would know that result already. So the semi-finals are Joey and the Diego Sandaconda versus Hunter and the Miami Flare. While the other semi-final will be between Samuel Wakeman, conqueror of that ass, owner of the Great Lakes Draft League, and a sponsor of the UDL and the Drafts Degenerate, hosted by a good friend Toby, versus Dina, who the owner of the Donna moment. Right, so we're not gonna mess around here, we're gonna get straight into it. This is the bracket, there's the final, there's the game. Why is it 2 Sandacondas? I don't know. Just ignore that. So we have here the results, 2-1 and 2-0. Let's get straight into it. Okay, so the Joey versus Hunter. This is a big matchup. So these are key stats. They are not updated for the finals. These are regular season stats. So Hunter did play in week 1 of playoffs, but his stats are the exact same as I used last week. They are his regular season stats. So it made it a bit fair in comparing the teams, because Hunter would have played an extra game on Joey. But Joey went undefeated, 10-0 with a plus 17 game differential. That is just impressive. That means for the entire season he's only dropped 3 games. We're just seeing at the bottom here of a game win rate of 20 out of 23, or an 87% win rate. That is very impressive in such a stacked league. And his kill lead is Grimmsnarl, a Pokemon that's in VGC known as the most annoying Pokemon, setting up screens, thunder waving, being on the ground, and he's brought it the most at 23 times. His kill to death ratio is 86 kills to 46 deaths. That is impressive. This means he is getting kills, but he's not taking a lot of deaths. In 10 weeks, he is averaging about 8.6 kills a game. by only getting 4.6 deaths. Mind you, he's won a lot of these games very convincingly. So that is just an impressive result. And this is just a mark sheet of a player who has come to this division and just absolutely dominated. If I recall correctly, and he's facing against Hunter, who was one of the 3 people to take a game off him. To take a game off Joey. With a 2-1 win in week 1 of the GLDL. And as such, the winner of this match books their place in the Empoleon divisions for the Great Lakes Draft League Season 2. And they will go in as the top seed, pretty much, because our thing Arnold's work in oh no, they won't go in as top seed, because Dina and Wake, one of them will go in as top seed, but Hunter would have beaten the number 1 seed if he did it, which would have been much more impressive. Anyway, how can each player win this? So the Seneconders undefeated in the regular season in a stacked league of both Spec and Grim, both getting 20 plus kills. He also has a Spec trainer on his team that's also got 20 kills. 20 plus kills. That's impressive. He also has a roster of another Pokemon that have 7 kills, Pokemon like Galarian Zapdos, Archeops is in that group, Center Scorch and Wishiwashi, I believe, are the last 2. And I feel like this team still has plenty of tricks. They can throw 100 per Padawack. They haven't played since week 1. So what Hunter prepared for then could be entirely different to what he has to prepare for now, and of course vice versa. For Joey, he needs to control this Stellar Stealer. This Pokemon rips teams apart if played correctly. He has no Rotomo anymore, and Hunter has that Rain mode, which limits Center Scorch massively, plus the fact that Center Scorch is 4 times weak to Rock, which Stellar Stealer can hit on both spectrums, both its physical and a special attack with a Rock move. Plus even an Airstream is so good. So he needs to find that way to beat this Stellar Stealer, because I feel like this Selly will win this set. How Joey approaches this Stellar Stealer is going to be pivotal, because if he can't beat the Selly, he can't win the set, because Hunter will bring it. It's absolutely stupid if Hunter not to bring his Stellar Stealer. It's just so good as a Pokemon. It beats his Grimmsnarl, it beats Sandaconda, it beats Galarian Zapdos if played right. He has to beat this Stellar Stealer. But the thing is, he has to call what type of Stellar Stealer this is. Is it physical or is it special? Call it wrong, and you're probably down a game right off the bat. So as such, he needs to take a new approach. An entire regular season has gone by since they last played in week 1, and Hunter has made transactions during the season. If he can't get hold of Hunter's new team, Joey will suffer his first loss of the season right now. And this is not a line where you want to have your first loss. You can see the finish line, and you don't want to stuff it up now. But then again, Joey has gone undefeated, so he could just wash away Hunter now, go 11-0 into the finals against one of Wakeman or Dina. Let's go talk about Hunter. Now, this is something I'll mention even if Hunter gets into finals. The Stellar Stealer effect. I'm literally just saying, Hunter, just go Selly. You can do very well here. You can smash him with a Selly. Like, he only has Center Scorch, and he have that Rain mode, which Center Scorch does not like. What Galarian Zapdos gets Blaze Kick ain't gonna do much. He doesn't exactly have a gravity user, from what I can see. That makes it even better, because it means something like Sandaconda can't hit you a max ground. Losing Rotomo is actually a huge benefit here for Hunter, and it puts him in a much better position to actually utilize a rain modem as well. Because Rotom was a bit of a problem for that. Selly plus rain plus lightning, Selly plus the rain becomes so much better into this matchup now. And he's learned from the season. He's gotten stronger since week 1. Like, Hunter as a player is someone who learns from his mistakes. He looks back at when he's done something wrong and he will adapt. And I fully expect him to do it here. He should adapt from his week 1. He will go back, he will watch his prep, look back at his prep. He will also even watch back his video, and he will discover what went wrong. He'll even look at Joey's pace for that week and go, okay, he brought this, and this. Okay, I'll respond with this, and this. Factor in the fact he's got some loose transactions, Hunter will adapt from this very effectively and very quickly. So we're going to go on to our prediction. I'm back in Hunter in here. I feel this team has changed dramatically from when they've played in the first week of the season, and he's gotten much better as a player as the season's gone on. Like, he's been a very formidable player to face. And he has shown from his first play match against me, he can adapt from a loss. He came in with a strategy in mind, and he just stuck to that strategy, and he just walloped through the match. He just did really well until a matchup that he really did not like. And I just generally have more faith in Celesteela and friends here than I have in faith in like Grimmsnarl, Spectrier. Like, they're strong, but you're very reliant on a spec there, which is a bit of a problem because if Hunter leads correctly for that Spectrier, he's gonna dominate the matchup. Like, Slurpuff has a massive role to play here. Proc Unbird and Outspeed Spec. The only way he speeds it is paralyzing, but he can't do that with Psychic Terrain from Lele. So I think Hunter has the tools, he has the play style, and he has the ability to completely establish a new and absolutely just win this. Like, I think this matchup will actually be Hunter winning. I would say this might even be a domination, but I have to factor in that Joey has gone 10-0. If this was anyone else, I'd almost say that this is just a very dominant win from Selly and friends. But I think Joey has shown enough during the season, going 10-0. You don't go 10-0 being no slouch, to make this game very competitive and very close. So this matchup would be a very good match to watch. To see how they both approach it, and generally who comes out on top, because whoever wins this has to, if Joey wins this, then he has pulled out an absolute miracle in my opinion here. Well, Hunter holds the matchup, I believe. So this would be a great match to watch, and if it wasn't for Wakeman and Dina and their Week 10 match, which is awesome, this would actually be match of the playoffs across all divisions. But I think Dina versus Wakeman has a lot more on this. And speaking about Dina and Wakeman, let's talk about their matchups. Again, like with Hunter versus Joey, these are regular season stats. So both of them come in with... Alright, so I think I've stuffed up Dina's regular season record, because I think she's meant to be a +9 game differential, while Wakeman's meant to be a +11. So, I mean, just push those around people in GLDL, ones watching this, so just swap them around. Wakeman is number 2 seed, while Dina is number 3. You already know that. Anyway, we're going to be looking at Wakeman's team, because we've looked at Dina's last week, we're going to look at Wakeman's first. Venusaur, 26 kills, number 2 in the kill rankings. Cinderace, 19 times brought, for a KD of 84 kills, 44 deaths, and a game win rate of 19 out of 24 was 79%. These two teams are very evenly matched in terms of their stats. Wakeman just has a bit more kills and a little bit less deaths than Dina has, and has actually taken a few more extra games. The only real difference between these two teams, I think, would have been their Week 10 game. If Dina win, I think Wakeman would have the similar stats as Dina, and also when Wakeman wins, these stats would be similar enough. So the regular season result was a 2-1 win to Wake, in what was actually a very intense match. And like the other game, the winner of this will play in the finals, over the other one. So two very powerful teams going head to head. So let's get into how they can win this. So let's start with Cinder. Let's start with Wakeman. Wakeman has possibly the most powerful starter core type combination in the playoffs. Cinderace, Venu, and Rotom Wash are probably the three best Watergrass fire types left in the playoffs. Right, so that is a very, very good trio to have in a playoffs matchup. But you need to manage Dina's supportive pieces. She has Bolton, she has Impidimp, she has Togepi. They can all annoy what Wakeman wants to do. Impidimp, I think it's thanks to Taunt, Bolton can get Re-Impulse stuff, and Togepi just redirects. Wakeman made the transaction. He brought the Manectric in to counter this matchup. It needs to perform. Manectric doesn't perform, I think it would be proving it more as a wasted transaction. If it does perform, or you just shut down Thundurus, and you shut down Boltund very quickly, very effectively. He will also need to watch out for Trick Room. Dina could spring it on him, because Mudsdale actually is pretty decent here, and he has Throw Berserker. I don't really think they're going to do much. Like, Berserker's weak to Quake, and Throw is not the most powerful mon, it needs Guts to do well. Like, Wakeman's top half, his fast mode, can really just slap Dina around, if he can play that correctly. But he will need to potentially be aware of that slow mode, and I have a feeling Dina will probably try to get that mode going. If you can, the only Pokemon she'll need to worry about is the Rotom Wash, and this goes into how she needs to win. She needs to take care of that Rotom Wash. This Rotom Wash is the key for Wakeman's victory at the moment. She has no way to reliably damage control it. If Manectric's on the field, if Wakeman wants to make that call and call an Eerie Impulse on the Rotom, he can switch in Manectric, and if he gets that right, then Rotom is firing off a geyser. It can Wisp, it can Nasty Plot, it can Dark Pulse, it can Hydro Pump, it can Thunderbolt, it can Volt Switch, it can do so much here. This Rotom Wash can easily take this game away from her single-handedly. TR for her, very valid. Like, if you haven't considered it, do consider it. Mudsdale can handle the vast majority of Wake's team, barring no Aromatisse. He did bring it the last time they played. But he may not, because he may need to drop something for the Manectric, and Aromatisse might be that Pokemon. So if he doesn't bring, so if you want to make that call, you absolutely could go to Trick Room mode and say, I think Wakeman's going to drop Aromatisse. It didn't do much in the regular season match, and it might not be required here. But, and this is my next one, Manectric will come. It absolutely will be on Wakeman's team. You know what his Pokemon's going to be. He's pretty much going to bring Cinderace, he's going to bring Venu, he's going to bring Rotom, he's going to bring Manectric. There's 4 Pokemon you already know that will absolutely come. Because they're just so good. and from there you just really need to pick the last two. So from there, it's a pretty simple prep process for you. So you need to make sure you know where Wakeson's damage output's coming from, which is his top mons. His Cinderace, his Venu, his Rotom. You can handle the Cinderace, you can handle the Venu, but you can't, but you need to handle the Rotom. Yeah, sure, Mesper's good, it gets grass moves, but it's not doing the damage it needs to. Rotom is a bulky Pokemon, and Mesprit, I haven't checked Mesper's stats, but I think it just feels like a Pokemon that will be very lackluster in its damage output. And if you're reliant on that to control the Rotom, you're in for a bad time. So, the other way you can get around the Rotom Wash is utilising those support mons you have. Impidip Screens, Togepi Redirection, even Boltund Impulse if you want to be ballsy, and call him not to switch into Manectric. Like, just giving Mesprit 2 turns to hit Rotom with Max Overgrowth. Brilliant. Ooh, actually being very nice. Redirecting something of a Pokemon from Cinderace Under the Sun, for example, would be amazing. Redirecting potential Charm from an Aromatisse off your Mudsdale, great. Impidip setting up a light screen in front of a Rotom, even better. Like, even Thunder Waving a Venu or a Cinderace and playing for that paralysis is very valid here. So you need to utilize those support Pokemon, and those baby Pokemon can absolutely turn this battle into your favor. So you need to use those Pokemon well. If you can't, well, I think Wakeman just puts a lot of hurt on here. But you did win, almost win the regular season match, so I think you know what roughly to do anyway. So, now we're getting into our prediction. Yep, here we are. Prediction, I say Wakeman wins the one back here. I feel like Dina can really handle this Cinderace, she can handle the Venu, but I absolutely fear this Rotom Wash. I think the Rotom Wash will be the winner here for Wake. If he gets his Rotom Wash to a perfect position, Wakeman, you could even just say Wakeman wins the finals. Wins the semi-final. I also trust Wakeman's top offensive pressure a lot more. Cinderace can put hurt on from the get-go. Venu can put hurt on from the get-go. Rotom Wash can put hurt on from the get-go. Even Pokemon down to Downey's list like a Braviary can still put a lot of hurt onto Dina's team. While Dina doesn't really have that offensive pressure that can punish from the get-go. She has Thundurus, but physical Thundurus to Defiant isn't exactly the most threatening Pokemon when it's not got Defiant procced. Urshifu is more of a late game cleanup option, and Mudsdale's slow. So Wake can still take advantage of that. And Mesprit is a Pokemon that to me doesn't really strike. I'm going to sweep your entire team if you don't play correctly. Meanwhile, I get that feeling from Cinderace, Venusaur, Rotom Wash, Braviary. I just feel like those Pokemon can absolutely just go through. Can absolutely just go in if Dina leads wrong. If you miss Blaze, those Pokemon can absolutely just snatch victory away from her. So, that pretty much wraps things up. My prediction will be, as I predicted in the preseason, in a video that I did plan to release, but I didn't actually record it. I predicted Hunter and Wakeman to make the finals. And this is what my prediction is. And no, I'm not doing a full self-fulfilling prophecy to go, oh yeah, I'm going to predict my preseason prediction. No. I feel like these two teams are the two teams that can beat their opponents. Absolutely, Joey can win this week. And yes, absolutely, Dina can win this week. You don't make semi-finals for absolutely no reason. So they're all very good players, and finding a prediction, a winner here, is not very difficult. Not about to say not very difficult, but it's actually extremely difficult. So I've looked at the matchup. I identified where games could be won, who could be lost, and generally, whose team do I generally feel more threatened by? And this is where I come to my result. I think Hunter will advance, and I think Wakeman advances as well. But I could easily see Dina popping up and putting in a big win. I could see Joey continuing his undefeated streak. Hell, it'd be great to see Wakeman versus Joey because they didn't play during the regular season, so that would actually be a very fun and interesting match to watch because they never played. So it'd be their first time playing and they'd be in grand finals, which would be interesting. But yeah, I think this would be a Hunter versus Wakeman grand finals, and it would be a very solid match. So I can't wait for the semi-finals matches. So good luck to the 4 players that remain. You guys are really gonna need it, because your opponents aren't slouches. They're very high caliber players, and you're gonna have to be on your toes. That's all I can say. As someone who's won a championship and had to do the full length, it's very tough, very, very tough to win a championship. And these 4 players absolutely can and probably do deserve to win this. So, good luck to you all. Have fun, and I will be back with the when these results have been made. I will make a grand finals prediction, and I may even bring the coaches on for a little interview. It will that will depend on who makes it. If Hunter makes it and Wakeman makes it, I probably could make an interview very easy with them. Dina probably could work as well, but I'm very unsure on Joey. So Hunter, please win so I can actually do this. I actually do want to have the coaches on. So I'll see you all for the final video for Great Lakes Draft League, which will be next week. Would it be the final? Because I probably think I have a Flamingo exhibition. That will get sorted out later. But this should be the final video of the Grand Finals preview. Should be the final video of the Grand Lakes Draft League and Empoleon from me. So until I see you all next time, have a good time. Good day then. Alright then, bye.